you did this year? Did you learn? Did you grow?
I learn all the time. I mean, it's for me. I'm harder on myself probably than anything you guys or anyone could say. So, it starts with are we winning the game? Regardless of obviously I want our defense to be top notch and be the best, that we can be, and grow and get better. So as far as evaluating me, I learned a lot. I have learned a lot, and I'll learn more this week too.
Your name was one of the names listed as a candidate for the Jets job. Have you had any contact with them? Do you expect to interview with them?
I've heard nothing. I've heard nothing. I'm honestly just trying to play good defense this week.
Nora is obviously not happy that he wasn't named to the Pro Bowl. What have you seen from him this entire season? Do you feel like he's worthy?
I mean, of course, you're always going to want your guys. I know how good a player he is, and I understand also there's elements to the voting of that, It's like different thirds. So you never really know how that pans out. But definitely, he's got that talent. I think he's an alternate, so at least there's some recognition, but I know guys are going to be disappointed.
A guy who kind of thrives off the fact that he was a fifth-round pick. Do you feel like this is going to even fuel his fire more?
Oh, yeah. Anything, guys that are really competitive will use anything for motivation, and I think he can just add that to the mix.
Times this year, veteran players were quoted as saying there were communication issues. What do you do to address that with the guys you have on the roster and the people that you're potentially going to have on the roster next year?
Yeah, it's frustrating. And then that's why those veteran guys say that, we're all frustrated with it, and it shows up, and sometimes it's different people, but it's, immediately they know that it shouldn't have done that. So a lot of it is, the continue to push is the pre-snap communication is everything, because most guys, if he's off the ball, he's probably going to move. So there's got to be, we just have to keep being better at it, and you can't do it after the play. It's got to happen before. And then when it happens, someone starts moving during the play, then you've already expected it. You've already pre-thought it. It's just something we got to keep getting better at. And it's kind of shown up in critical parts of critical games.
It's repetition.
It is like anything. And, if it's young guys or new guys, it's, and it starts with me and then the coaching, and then the players have to execute. But it's a culmination of all that.
Nick, there was a play that stood out for good and bad reasons. Seemed like Gibbs got real wide open on their sideline, and then Mustafa sprinted all the way across the field.
Oh, yeah.
And made an incredible play on that. When you watch that again, what happened? How did he get that open, and what did you think of that effort?
You're talking about when he reversed backfield?
Yeah. Mustafa to chase him down.
Well, basically because he reversed, and he's really fast. So we really push pursuit and running to the ball, and so we're all chasing, and then he, reverse field, and then you saw the speed and the effort and the style that Mustafa has on that play. I mean, it just showed up. That's who he is. But again, Gibbs is really fast, and he reverse field on us and kind of, got us out of leveraged. But Malik finished really well with speed.
How would you assess Mustafa's rookie season now that it's almost done?
I think it's been really good. We'll see how he finishes. I think, like I've said all year, he's an accountable guy, that always wants to improve, and his style has shown up on all year. That's the one thing that's cool is, who he was when we talked to him, and everything you learn about guys when you're going through the process of learning the player, that showed up. Who he is, but also the style of play that we saw on tape in college, that showed up. And that's what I think jumps out to a lot of people. But I think more so behind the scenes of who he is really cool. So I think he's got a bright future. You just got to, it's a big jump. You hope for a big jump from guys from year one to year two. That's always a huge difference, from a rookie year to your second year. So you kind of hope to expect that jump. It starts with how they evaluate themselves in the offseason and what they do right away. The best thing they can do is get with veteran guys that have had success and just learn from them. Talk to as many guys as you can, especially the guys that have had success, and actually learn from them, because it is a long, continuous year.
On 4th and goal from the 4, what was the breakdown on that play, and why not call man-to-man coverage to try to take away the quick throw?
Well, the zones were working pretty good. It was a different zone, but, we had played man before on the 2-point play and had a bust. So there's certain things that go throughout the game, and then based on what they did, we should have it, figured out. We just didn't. We didn't kind of push wide enough in our cloud, and basically what it turned into. And, a lot of times when I'm in doubt, I like to go man, but you can't do that all the time. And there were a lot of those, like you said, with the breakdown, sometimes you got to mix it up. Or if you do it all the time, then, guys can scheme you. So you got It's just based on the situation.
From beginning to end, is there an area or areas that you look at and say, yeah, we got better at this as the season went on?
I haven't fully evaluated that. I think because it was just inconsistent. I can't really say until we finish the season. I mean, there are times that, in the last 4 weeks that we got better, but I feel like, again, we just took a step back in a lot of elements in this game. So overall consistency or inconsistency, and then you're going to learn more once we really break it down. And it's hard to, you're kind of sort of evaluating what you're calling and how we're playing things and kind of correcting things as the season goes. But, those full self-evals happen in the season or at the end of the season. I felt like our communications were getting better, and then we have another breakdown in a critical moment. And the one thing I will say, I think the guys played hard all year. They have. And we just got to see them do it again, because the season's not over. We got a big game against Arizona. So that's the one part that I can see is, consistently our guys have played tough. They've played violent, and they've played hard.
Well, one guy out. Can you look at just Fred Warner out? He's going to the Pro Bowl again, leading the team in tackles. He started the season really well, had the ankle injury. Just how did he get through the season? Was he trying to cover for guys that weren't in the right spot at times? What was his season like?
I mean, that's who he is. I mean, Fred is. I think he's the best linebacker in the league, and it's for him to go to the Pro Bowl. He should be an All-Pro or whenever. I don't know how they do that or when they do it, but there can be times when you're thinking like that. But he has such good instincts that he makes so many plays, and there's a lot that come to my mind that he makes that you don't see guys do, and he's also doing all the communications, as far as getting us lined up and everything. So, there's time that guys that have watched a lot of tape and they have instincts that they try and make plays, and when you have so much success doing it, yeah, you're going to embrace that, and you're going to have guys. You're not going to coach down instincts, and he has those. So I wouldn't say there was anything unusual as far as trying to do too much. And as far as the production in the early of the year, just sometimes it happens like that. We've had one takeaway in 7 games or the last. It's not good enough. It's hard to win games when you're in the minus all the time, or you're just not taking the ball away. We haven't done our part there pretty much half the season.